Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the board meeting for June 17, 2025. I ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Betterman.
Here.
Deeney.
Here.
Gansey.
Here.
Hopkins.
Here.
Here.
Swansky.
Here.
President Gunstein.
Here. Tonight we've asked Pastor Alex Culpepper from Renovation Church to do our invocation.
Pray with me, please. Father in heaven, we are grateful for who you are. We recognize just the place that you have, as we would even ask you to bless a meeting like this. We thank you for your provision, that you would give us a community of safety, that you would give us firefighters and first responders and police officers who are willing to serve this place. I thank you for every city council member who is here as well to serve. And we thank you for the ways that you pour out your wisdom. We know that there are many issues that have had to be navigated in the latest weeks, and you continue to give us the ability to navigate these things in peaceful ways, and we're grateful for this. You are a giver of good gifts. You gave your only son, Jesus, that we could find him and find the way to life and forgiveness and knowing you. And so we lean on your gift-giving nature as we come to you now. We ask that you would give more wisdom for the decisions that have to be made, for the things that have to be discussed. Would you give wisdom and goodwill to those who interact here tonight? Would you continue to protect those who do serve this community? And we specifically ask for a blessing of safety in the many upcoming summer festivities. We have July 4th and National Night Out. Would you give us just a blessing of safety, and by your gracious hand, would you continue to provide the freedoms that we enjoy? And we ask all of these things in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. That takes us to our town hall portion. If anybody would like to address the board, please kindly do so by stepping up to the podium, state your name and address, and please limit your conversations to 3 minutes. Nobody in the audience? Do we have anybody online?
No, we do not.
All right, thank you. All right. With that said, we are looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
To enter executive session pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee.
Second.
Clerk, do we have to call the roll on that?
Yep.
Please call the roll, clerk.
Trustee Betterman.
Yes.
Deeney.
Yes.
Gansey.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Laporte.
Yes.
Swansky.
Yes.
We are adjourned.
We're going to re-adjourn the board meeting.
All right, we're going to re-adjourn. I need a motion to re-adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded by Trustee Hopkins, moved by Trustee Swansky. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Betterman.
Here.
Deeney.
Yes.
Gansey. Hopkins. Laporte.
Here.
Swansky.
Here.
President Gunstein.
Here. All right, that takes us to our consent agenda. All items on this list with an asterisk will be considered routine and enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion for these items unless a board member so requests, in which event the item will be removed or added to the general business, will be removed from the general business order and considered at an appropriate point in the agenda. Would anybody like to add or remove anything from the agenda?
Yes.
From the committee, from the consent, sorry.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to add F1, or ordinance authorizing sale by internet auction of surplus personal property owned by the Village of Bartlett.
Any questions or concerns on that? Okay. Would anybody else like to add in or remove anything from the consent agenda? All right. I would like to make a motion, or get a motion to approve the amended consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Swansky. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Daney.
Yes.
Gansey.
Yes.
Hopkins. Laporte.
Yes.
Swansky,
Yes.
Batterman.
Yes. That carries. Can I get a motion to approve the amended consent?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Daney, seconded by trustee Laporte. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gansey,
Yes.
Hopkins. Laporte,
Yes.
Swansky,
Yes.
Batterman,
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
Motion carries. That takes us to our treasurer's report. Mr. Treasurer?
Thank you, Mayor. The treasurer's report included in the board packet is for the month of April 2025. Sales tax received in April is for the month of January and totaled $586,756. This brought the final yearly total for fiscal year '25 to $6,008,258, which is $2,156,072 higher than the prior year and $1,058,258 higher than what we budgeted. So needless to say, it was a very good year for sales tax. Motor fuel tax allotments for April totaled $148,567, which brought the fiscal year '25 total to $1,857,890. This total is $14,578 higher than the prior year and $67,890 higher than what we budgeted. And the final numbers for income tax received for fiscal year '25 are $7,144,976, which is $119,231 over what we budgeted. That's it for the treasurer's report, unless there's any questions.
Just one question. Yeah, when does the new motor fuel tax kick in for Bartlett? Is that July 1st?
July 1st, so we'll get those funds in October.
Looking at your report, it says the interest income, the actual in the current year budgeted is 198% over. What do you contribute that to?
Just being modest with what we budgeted, I would say.
Yeah,
Interest rates are still really good. They've come down a little bit, but still a really good year for interest.
so how do these numbers like fit into the current budget we passed? Does it, because we didn't budget for this excess cash, correct?
We did not. So yeah, any revenues over budget just helps us out, for sure.
All right, thank you.
All right, if there's no more questions, thank you, Mr. Treasurer. That takes us to our president's report, and tonight we have one item, and it is the appointment of the chief of police, Ryan Conway. And I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
No.
I move to approve the village president's appointment of Ryan Conway as the chief of police of the Bartlett Police Department.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Moved by trustee Swansky, seconded by trustee Laporte. Take a roll on that.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
Swansky,
Yes.
Batterman,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Gansey.
Yes.
That motion carries. Okay, takes us to question and answers. Does anybody have any questions for staff or?
I think Ray does. I'm good.
Yeah, I have, I want to recognize a commissioner that serves on the Planning and Zoning Committee, and it's Amy McSwain, and she has 1 year of service, so congratulations and thank you for your service. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Are you sure?
That's it.
Oh. Any other questions for staff?
Yes, I do. So thank you for the information regarding the flock cameras. When this came up several meetings ago, we were in the middle of several contentious other issues that were on our agendas. So I, at the time, to add more cameras, I did vote yes on that, but I had been meaning to request that we find out how often those cameras are actually used for our village when we use that data. Thank you for the information that you provided, Acting Chief, but Flock's response is the response you would make when the horse is out of the barn. And I kind of feel that our privacy is just an illusion at this point. So is there any way we can get that documentation of how many times those cameras are used for us to actually solve crimes going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something we can do. We can put a document together. They're pretty much utilized on every criminal investigation that we work on in traffic investigations. But I can give you a document that'll kind of clarify that and specify how and how often we use them.
Thank you.
So is our information or the cameras still accessible by outside agencies?
At this point, outside agencies are restricted from accessing our data.
Now, can Flock still access our data and do with it what they want, or?
No, so they only have access to technology data that they utilize to improve their technology as far as the cameras go. Any of our data that we acquire is not accessible to them.
Thank you.
I've got a question regarding the new signs and flags we put up with regards to trucks and weight limits. What's the fine if they violate that?
The state ticket is $176.
Is that enough to deter them? Or we have no say in it because it's a state?
Correct. We don't have a say in that. We have a local ordinance that's a lot cheaper than that. It's
$25?
$25.
So they would pay the 25 and the 170?
No, our direction has been to utilize the state tickets of $176 fines to deter traffic. Oftentimes, those stops lead to other infractions regarding registration, overweight, things like that. But it's $176 for the violation on a state ticket.
Okay. I had a resident bring it to my attention and kind of laughed that it wasn't enough to deter him from doing it. So just so that's out there.
Yeah, that is a challenge of ours. What we're also seeing is when it goes through the court system, they're also getting either they're making it a lesser charge or dismissing tickets on top of that. So the deterrent aspect that is one of the challenges that we face. But the more, we are having high visibility traffic stops out there trying to make, as much of an effort as we can.
Well, but we're trying to keep our infrastructure the way it is and prevent these things from getting damaged. If they're going to keep rolling through here and it's going to affect our infrastructure, then maybe they need to be penalized a little bit more. Just my 2 cents worth.
If our traffic ticket for that is $300, is that in lieu of the 176, or is it both?
So the 176 it's regulated by the state.
Okay.
That would have to be an ordinance that we would have for local ordinance tickets to increase that or create a new fee structure.
But you're saying if we had a $500 ticket or over limit fine, the courts are going to dismiss it or reduce it?
Well, if it was local,
What you're seeing?
that's happening with the state tickets. That's been some of the feedback from our officers. We could bring it into local adjudication and we'd have some more control over that potentially.
Is this regards to North Avenue too, correct?
Just
Or
in
does that
general,
have a-
yeah, we can't do anything on Naperville Road, but North Avenue is what they were talking about.
Yeah, because I was getting some more feedback on that too.
Yeah.
Have we heard anything how the signs are working or not working?
So,
They're not working.
not necessarily. We're still waiting for the additional sign on West Bartlett Road that'll be west of 59 from the county. Once we have that sign installed, that kind of creates that barrier at least that we're looking for to prevent trucks from coming into the downtown area. Once that sign is installed, that's when we're going to kind of do full court press with enforcement. All signs will be in place, high visibility traffic enforcement, citations, and hopefully that'll change behavior.
Maybe let's follow up in a couple months on that. And if we need to change the fine to deter those trucks from coming through town. It's a safety issue, especially with Bartlett Elementary. The big trucks are going to tear up our streets. That costs us, the taxpayers, money. So again, not to pick on the truck drivers, but if they're violating it and they really don't care because there's really no penalty for it, they're gonna keep doing it. So,
Yeah, that's definitely something we can look at, the fee structure.
I will say I've seen a noticeable increase in police presence on North Avenue, in addition to your signs and the flags and everything. I travel it every day. So it seems like, and I've seen trucks turning around in local businesses over there, so I'm sure they're catching wind that they've made the wrong turn and that are making a three-point turn and going back to Lake Street. So I just hope they're not going to Naperville Road.
the other thing is, if you can keep an eye on Independence Drive, I got a report from somebody that I'm close to that the cars are speeding up and down the street at 45 miles an hour. So Independence,
Just slow down.
it wasn't me.
Leaving your mom's house?
I have no comment.
Seen over there?
I have one thing. Does anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I have one more thing, but.
Go ahead.
Thanks. I saw the first sign for National Night Out at West Bartlett Road in Naperville. How many more, or where else are we advertising for that?
For the specific locations, I would have to get back to you on that, where we're going to place the additional signs. I'll send that information out.
It's a good campaign, so we're looking forward to that. Thank you.
I have one question for Dan Dinges. Is our excess flow pipeline pumping station up and running yet?
The lift station is operational. It's torn up still because they just installed the pipe underground, and it's got to sit 30 days before we can do the testing. That's due to be tested the second week of July, so we're going to have them clean up the patch and clean up the roadway. But once it gets tested, everything is good to go. We're working on getting the restrictor for the MWRD manhole installed in the next 2 weeks before our IGA expires on July 1. So, but the lift station is operational.
Thank you.
While you have the microphone, can you give us an update on the streetscape schedule and how it's going? Seems like things are moving pretty good right now.
Sure, if you've been out there, you've seen that they're in front of Moore Brewing and State Farm and that stretch. They're planning to get that framed up and poured. The goal is to have all the sidewalk and brick installed prior to July 4th for everything but Town Center. They're going to be moving over to Town Center the end of next week. They'll start doing some work over there, but that is still going to be under construction. But everything else should be, at least the concrete and brick should be done. We're in a bad time for plantings, so they were able to get some of the Depot Museum completed. But after June 15th, you're not supposed to plant anything until August 15th. So we're probably going to have a delay on plantings until then, but everything else should be buttoned up.
And one of the things is to make sure like the horses and most of it's buttoned up before the 4th of July parade. Is that correct?
That's the plan.
Okay. So we haven't even got to 4th of July, but I do want to point out that staff is doing a remarkable job preparing for Marion Bright. It's hard to even think that that's just 6 months away. But Public Works provided some samples of new light fixtures for the light poles, and I'm sure you can share that when it's, down to the last couple of them. But it's going to be a lot brighter and hopefully more merrier because it's been moved to Saturday this year. So instead of racing to get there by 5 o'clock on a Friday, you have all day Saturday. So staff is doing a great job with that, so thank you.
Yeah, good job on the hometown heroes, too. I got my grandfather-in-law right out the door here. And then, did you guys order enough candy for the parade? We got real close towards getting dog biscuits. I need more dog biscuits, too.
Yeah, we do.
Tracy, we actually are going to pick it up on Thursday, so she
Excellent.
said we're emptying the store, so I think we're going to have a
All
lot.
right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, any other questions for staff? Questions for each other? All right, we will move on to standing committee reports. Planning and Zoning, Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Gunstein. We have nothing to report under Building and Zoning tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. Community and Economic Development, Chairman Gansey.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have nothing to report tonight.
Finance Committee, Chairman Laporte.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have one item on the agenda. It's the 2026 desktop computer purchase. The Information Systems Department requests approval to purchase 40 Dell Optiplex ProSlim desktop computers as part of the village's 4-year replacement cycle. These replacements are essential for maintaining reliable and efficient technology for staff across all departments. To ensure cost efficiency and compliance with procurement standards, the purchases will be made through the Dell Midwest Compact Master Agreement, MHEC. This consortium allows the village to secure competitively low pre-negotiated pricing. The total cost for the desktop replacements is $39,912.40, which is a couple thousand less than what was budgeted. The new systems will be ordered, delivered, and installed upon approval. The upgrade supports the village strategic technology plan and ensures that staff have dependable tools to perform their duties effectively. So I motion to approve the 2026 desktop computer purchase. If there's any questions, we'll open it up to John.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions?
I have a question. Why are they desktop and not laptops, like for mobility?
Thank you. We chose the desktops because of pricing, for one. We are purchasing laptops for the department heads for that reason, because it is mobile. For the desktops, they come in, they sit down, they don't go anywhere, and they're about $500 to $600 less per device. So over 40 devices, that adds up.
Okay, so for people who are mobile or need to be mobile, they have a laptop that they can bring.
Correct. And in information systems, we do have a couple spare laptops that people can use to check out and borrow and take home with them if they need to.
Okay, thank you.
Loaner laptops.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. That's all I had, Mr. President.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Laporte?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
Betterman?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Hopkins? Laporte?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, Trustee Laporte, and thank you, Chairman Gansey, for yours. That takes us to License and Ordinance Committee, Chairman Batterman.
Thank you, Mr. President. D2 and D3 for the 4th of July were covered under consent. D1 is for our Liquor Commission appointment, and I am told that yesterday our issue was resolved with the Liquor Commission, so we will keep Mayor as the Liquor Commissioner, so there is no motion for D1. All right.
Thank you, Chairman Batterman.
One more.
Yeah, you do.
D4, attached is an ordinance amending Section 3321, Class A of the Bartlett Liquor Control Ordinance. A new license in this class must be created before the license can be issued by the Liquor Commissioner. When a business is sold, the liquor licenses are taken down one, thus an ordinance must be passed to reestablish the license. The village attorney has reviewed the appropriate documents. So I move to approve ordinance 2025-61, an ordinance amending Title III, Chapter 3 of the Bartlett Municipal Code regarding to increase the number of Class A liquor licenses.
I'll second that.
Moved by Trustee Batterman, second by Trustee Daney. Any discussion?
Can we get a better explanation of this, please? From our village attorney?
Certainly. So the way that our code works, when somebody sells the business or transfers that license, the license goes away. So that you can't really just convey a license to different owners. So whenever somebody wants to transfer it, the number of available license automatically goes down. So then if they want to convey it to a new entity, they have to come to us, apply for a new license, and this board has the decision if they want to issue that license again. So I think in this case, and I defer to Sam, I believe this is for the Exceptional Cafe, they're creating a different ownership structure that's going to take the license. So nothing's going to change, but technically, anytime that ownership changes under our code, that license goes away and they have to reapply.
Under the proposal?
Yes. Under our code, yes.
Okay.
So now the board, again, has the decision to increase that number back up so that they can get that license.
Okay, we're not just holding a license off to the side in case somebody wants it.
No,
No,
this
okay.
would go to them because it's basically that number is going to go down, and then immediately when it goes down, they would be issued this new license if the board approves that license.
Thank you.
Subject to all the background checks and everything.
Yes, they've already gone through all that, yep.
Which restaurant is this?
Exceptional, I believe, or
Army Trail. On the amended consent agenda, there's the 4th of July Class D liquor request. And I just wanted to make sure that that was covered in our consent agenda vote.
4th of July was,
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
It was.
any questions other than that? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Sawunski?
Yes.
Fetterman?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Hopkins? Laporte?
Yes.
Motion carries. Police and Health Committee, Chairman Swansky.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have nothing this evening.
Thank you, Chairman Swansky. Public Works and Golf Committee, Chairman Daney.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had 4 items on the agenda. They were all covered under consent. We have nothing else for this evening.
Thank you, Chairman Daney. New business. Does anybody have any new business they'd like to talk about?
In the near future, I'd like to go into executive session to talk about acquiring some property.
Okay. We can do that.
Acquiring?
Acquiring property and just work with staff on which meeting we'd like to do that on, and we'll figure that out. I believe we're going in on the 15th of July already, so maybe we can piggyback that with the 15th of July meeting. All right, any other new business, questions or answers, or questions for the trustees or for the staff? All right, if not, get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Daney, second by trustee Batterman. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Batterman?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Hopkins? Laporte?
Yes.
Sawunski?
Yes.
We are adjourned.